Portions of the following program may have been pre-recorded.
The following program's views, claims, or ideas may not reflect those of WSRR Radio or StylesRebelRadio.com.
In the Steel City, where the rivers align, Lucas and Dom crossing the battle line. Weekday mornings, it's a sportscast scene behind enemy lines in the heart of the dream. Every play discussed, every game analyzed. Cleveland's pride seen through Pittsburgh eyes. Behind enemy lines, where the passion ignites. Cleveland and Pittsburgh battling in sights. Lucas and Dom rise with the sun. Every morning at 10, let the games be fun. Tune into the waves, feel the thrill unfold. Behind enemy lines, stories to be told.
Welcome back to Behind Enemy Lines, WSRR Radio. It is Halloween, the spookiest episode of all time. Happy Friday to you all. We're right in the midst of the World Series. We're heading into week 9 of the NFL. NHL season is off and rolling. We had a sports equinox this week. Only
That's
the
right.
30th time in history that all 4 leagues have played on the same day. NBA's back too. How could I forget about such a beautiful league? Honestly, the only thing I've seen from that so far is Wembanyama highlights.
Yeah. It
Which is
seems like
cool.
Wemby's cooking. It seems like Austin Reeves is like the first option in LA for some reason. He scored 50 and 40 in
Oh, wow.
back-to-back nights.
I
There's
did
been
not
like
see that.
3 different 50 burgers already the first week into the NBA season.
And there's been an FBI indictment,
That's
which might have
right.
been the biggest news that took away,
the
I think,
FBI
from everything.
did a 50 burger on the mafia, it looks like.
Dropped a
took-
50 on Rozier and Chauncey Billups' head.
Taking down Big Pussy Bump and Sarah's private poker game. It was crazy. I can't believe
I've
they're...
been watching The Sopranos all week, and I just can't stop saying, I'm big pussy, capiche?
Yeah, that's you.
I just can't stop saying it.
Standing around in your kitchen in his full suit.
Saying,
Yeah, I'm bumping
watching
Sarah.
the Ducks and the... Oh, no, that was Tony. But anyways, Behind Enemy Lines, we are back, and we are proudly brought to you by our friends at Synergy Music Studio. Based out of Chicago, Synergy Music Studio offers a diverse array of musical services specifically crafted to meet their clients' needs, from recording to mixing and production. Discover how we can bring your vision to life at synergymusicstudio.com. Lucas, have you been watching the World Series at all?
Not really. I'm not going to watch 18 innings worth of baseball.
Yeah.
I just
That was a crazy one.
I can't buy into watching baseball. I'm sorry. And especially when one of the teams is the Dodgers, which it seems like everyone wants to lose, and then the other team is Canadian.
Yeah.
Like, it just as a good red-blooded American,
Uh-huh.
I can't watch. I can't support it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I was feeling, but the more I watch this series, the more
You're
I'm
bought in?
enjoying it. And yeah, I definitely feel the same about the Dodgers. It's like they pay, there's billions of dollars that are deferred, at least for Ohtani. But then you watch Ohtani, and you're like, he's the greatest player.
Yeah.
We've never seen anyone like that. We probably never will again. At the level that he's performing. He pitched last night in Game 4. The Dodgers ended up dropping it to put it at 2 games. A
piece.
team, yeah, exactly. So
Capiche?
this has been a competitive series so far. The Blue Jays are a likable team, even though they are a Canadian team. Vladdy Guerrero, he's fun.
Oh, gotta love
You
Big
can't
Vlad.
hate on that. They got
BGJ.
another big fella behind the plate. Their catcher. Can't remember his name off the top of my head, but
Don't
he hit a
need to.
bomb in Game 2, and yeah, it's been a good, fun series so far. The other day, I was thinking though, like our grandparents. I'm trying to think, like they had to have been around when Babe Ruth was playing, right?
Yeah. I don't know. When was Babe Ruth playing?
Like the 40s. So I guess not. My grandparents weren't. I
Hey,
don't
my
think.
grandma died when she was 99, like last year,
Yeah.
a year or two ago. So, like,
Well,
she was
so
around.
she may have been around when Babe Ruth was playing. Very well, had to have been. It was 99.
Let's see.
Ruth
Babe
played in
Ruth
the
played
40s.
from 1914 to 1935.
Oh.
So she was around.
So she saw a little
She
bit.
was-
saw the
she
back
was
end.
legit, but she saw it.
But like our great grandparents, at least, like were around. And could you imagine if they, spent every dollar that they had to buy a signed Babe Ruth ball, and then they just kept it though throughout generations and generations? You'd be like, man, that was like great generational wealth.
Yeah.
And they really set us up. And I was
You're
like, what
right.
if I just spend 15 grand on an Otani ball?
Oh, okay. You're trying to set up the fam for
Just
later.
set up, just like have, because there's like Otani's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And sports memorabilia,
You are
has
really
become
into the sports memorabilia right now.
because I've realized like there's a lot of money into it. Like
Yeah.
I've been on eBay a little bit, just seeing the crazy stuff. They got
Yeah.
George Washington signatures. on
Yeah,
that
me
thing.
and Dom went to an open mic last night, and first thing he said when we sat down, he's like, "Yeah, I've been on eBay, and they do live streams like it's TikTok,
Yeah,
and they
it's
do
nuts.
like auctions for like cards and different stuff." And you got a KD card, a jersey?
Yeah.
and-
I bought like a pack or it was like a card rip, and that I regretted. But I was in the game. I was watching that 18-inning baseball
you were in
game.
the throes of it.
It was 2 a.m. and I'm watching this Dodgers Blue Jays game. And I'm like, what is this? I'm like, let's see what this card is. I ended up getting a pretty good card that I think I'll be able to flip for a profit, but it was just dumb. Shouldn't have done it, but it worked out. And then I bought a Bill Mazeroski signed jersey for like $80, $90, which
Tough.
is one of the greatest second basemen of all time, one of the greatest Pirates of all time, and the only MLB player to ever hit a walk-off home run in Game 7 of World Series.
Tough.
And with the Pirates, there's not really anything to really like. I don't want to buy a Skeens jersey right now.
No.
It doesn't make sense. So I got to buy a legend. Mazeroski's he's forever a Pirate. I'm gonna hang that up, frame in the man cave one day.
I think sports memorabilia is like, obviously there's a lot of money in it, and like I think that, like you said, if someone bought a Babe Ruth signed baseball, and like today it would probably sell for like a ton.
$1 million, probably.
I'm curious about like the oversaturation of it though,
For
because
sure.
like then Babe Ruth signed like one a day maybe, like he wasn't. They probably weren't like really thinking about like
He was
think
pumping them
about how
out.
much money we can make from his signature.
Yeah.
Whereas now, like you see clips of like these guys where they have 100 T-shirts or jerseys lined up, and they
Yeah.
sign them, and then someone pulls it away, and they sign it, and someone pulls it away, and they do that for 10 minutes at a time
Yeah.
until their wrist hurts.
Well, that's definitely a thing.
Like it's just devaluing them.
and so
So is a signed Shohei jersey or ball going to be as much in 50 years
as it is right now.
as I was going to say as like a Babe Ruth ball
Oh,
is.
well, that's an interesting question, but I do know that like the sports memorabilia, the trading cards industry during like the last 10, 15 years, it kind of died down. Like when we
Yeah.
were kids, Pokemon was kind of big.
Yeah.
Sports cards weren't really big when we were kids though,
Now.
because they were producing so many cards.
Uh-huh.
And they've
They were
kind of
overproducing them.
they've kind of started to reel it back a little bit to make them more exclusive, make it, worth your time.
They were
instead of-
flooding the market.
Exactly. So I think they're trying to get back to that a little bit more, because I do agree with what you're saying. It's kind of like crypto in that sense. We're like, 1% of the people are going to make money doing this, but 99% are going to just throw away money buying junk.
Yeah.
But that's the game you play. So I bought a few things. I'm enjoying it. I'm going to try to flip them, but so far I
You're loving
haven't.
it right now.
So far I've just spent money. I
Yeah.
haven't made any money.
I got to get you this Pokemon binder. That
I gotta
have.
see this deck. I'm not a Pokemon guy, but
I got a
I'll
big
investigate.
Pokemon binder that I've been holding on to for a few years, and
You just doxed yourself.
what? That I have a
Yeah,
Pokemon binder.
you could have millions of dollars on your head. You never know.
I might. I don't know.
Genuinely, you never know.
I literally have no clue.
Pokemon, that one really makes no sense. At least
Yeah.
sports is like I watch him on TV. I watch Otani get on base 9 times and hit 2 home runs. That's awesome. Watch Pokemon on TV.
Dude, the cartoon was sick.
It was, but like, was it? I just don't get it.
You got
I
to
don't-
catch them all. That's what it is.
Yeah, but there's like different variations. It's like,
Yeah.
you have this Pikachu, you have this one. It's like, who cares?
Yeah, I don't really
I'm
know.
sorry, I can't. Like, I mean, if you can, apparently that's where the money is, though.
Oh yeah.
A friend of the old program, North Shore Station.
Oh yeah.
He one of our guests on that show. He's a collector now. He said Pokemon is where the money's at.
Oh yeah.
Said sports cards, it's like shooting I was gonna say shooting fish in a barrel, but that'd be the opposite.
That would mean it's
Easy.
yeah. You're shooting for the stars with sports.
You're looking
memorabilia.
for a needle in a haystack.
There
Basically.
you go. How
That
about
one
that?
works.
That's
it's like
better.
stealing candy from a baby.
Yeah, no
Throwback for the
You
OGs.
still don't know what that even means. You're,
Little throwback for the original.
You're
the
sorely
OG
mistaken
listeners.
on the meaning of that. It's not a philosophical teaching like you tried to make it. But hey, Dom, we're here to talk about ball. It's
That's
October.
right. We got rid of the nonsense. We're talking football now.
We're getting down to the nitty gritty. After this Thursday night game, which is tomorrow for us, it'll be yesterday for the people listening. We're getting into November football. This is where, we talked about like teams are separating themselves. We're figuring out who's the pretenders and who's the contenders. And it's been heating up in this league, but I will say, I think that this year, the parity of the NFL is greater than it ever has been before. Like the difference between the best teams and the worst teams are closer than ever before. And I mean, like you can look at it when you see, the Bills losing to the Falcons and the Patriots on prime time, and we saw the Eagles lose to the Giants on prime time. And there's a lot of games like that. The Bears looked really good, and then they lose to the Ravens, who don't even have Lamar Jackson in this past week, and they ruined our parlay.
Yeah.
There's a lot
That
of
parlay
stuff
was
like
cooked,
that.
unfortunately.
Yeah, it really
wasn't our
was.
best.
The
We got
Falcons,
aggressive.
after beating the Bills, then lose to the Dolphins, who the week before lost to the Browns. Like there's so much going on where every week it's like you don't know what's going on. The Jets beating the Bengals by 1 point after being down in the fourth quarter by 15 plus.
Brees
Who
Hall
the
Tud.
Bengals just came off a big divisional win against the Steelers.
Let's not talk about it.
You never know what's going on. So yeah, by the way, let's jump to that quick. This is the Cleveland Sports Talk Show from Pittsburgh. So we have to talk about Pittsburgh a little bit. Lost 2 primetime games in a row. First to 41-year-old Joe Flacco, and then to the Packers at home. It looked like it was going to shape up to be the Aaron Rodgers like revenge homecoming type game. He's playing his former team, and big loss for them again. The defense giving up a lot of points. Dom,
Yeah.
before we started recording, you said no longer a fan. I didn't want to say the context of the conversation because I don't want to dox your passwords, but you said no longer a fan. Just a Steelers watcher.
Yeah.
No longer a fan though. So really, these last 2 losses are really weighing on you, huh?
Yeah, they've been tough ones. The week before against the Bengals hurt a lot more. Like that one's inexcusable. This one against the Packers at the beginning of the season, you look at this game, it's going to be a tough one. But going into it, I thought they had a really good chance. And last week, I blamed a lot of that on Tomlin. And this week, I don't want to do it again, but unfortunately, there's one consistent, and it's poor time management. It's poor game plan. It's just a lot of things that revolve around coaching.
Settling for a lot of field goals too.
Well, yeah, that gets to my main point is that Mike Tomlin, I think, wanted to play this like an AFC North football game. And it kind of did play like that for the first half of this game. The North, AFC, NFC, they play very similar. And Tomlin thought he could play this AFC North style football where he could just have Boswell go out there. Let's get 9 points at half. Let's just figure it out, dink and dunk our way downfield and just get points any way we can while being as conservative as possible. And that doesn't work against this Packers team because their offense can turn on at any instant. Tucker Kraft absolutely bodied this team, and it was one of the matchups before this game that you knew was going to be a problem. So back-to-back weeks where there's going to be a guy who's going to be a problem, and they just can't figure out how to stop him. Tucker Kraft, Jamar Chase. There's been a lot of receivers this year who have had like season best games against the Steelers.
Yeah, and again, you mentioned like the last couple of weeks that this is the highest paid defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
With, Jalen Ramsey and Darius Slay. TJ Watt got the big contract.
A lot of money.
He got a big contract, right? I mean,
He
like
gets paid.
there's some big contracts here, and when you're paying them $150 million on the defensive side of the ball, and you're putting up 25 points against the Packers defense that has Micah Parsons and is a good defense, and you're putting up 30 plus the week prior to that against the Bengals. Again, the Bengals defense not quite as good, but still, you would hope to get a little bit more support on the defensive side of the ball. And again, when you're paying that much money, but just not seeing it. Not seeing it at all. Tucker Kraft, 7 catches, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns. Having the best season out of the tight ends group in the NFL for sure.
Is he?
I think so. I mean, I don't think there's any chance that anyone else is.
I've been pretty tapped out of fantasy this year, so
Yeah, you're having a rough year.
season from
fantasy-wise,
hell,
right?
some would say.
Oh yeah.
Season from hell. It
Let's
couldn't get any worse.
Run through some of the lowlights.
Well, like I'm in 4 different leagues, which is typical. It's not like I'm in over my head, but there's one league that I'm in for free, and of course that's the one I'm doing the best in. The league that I have the most money in is a league that I am, for the first time in my life, 0-8.
Ooh.
I have not won a game in 8 weeks of football, and it's been bad. Some of it was partially my fault, but drafted Malik Neighbors, who out for the season after week 3, Omarion Hampton, who's been out. Just some really, really bad moves on my part, but the team itself has been disappointing. I just hate fantasy at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even set my lineup in all my leagues because the one that I care about the most is done for me, so I just don't care.
It's over. How much
It's
money
over.
are you investing in each league?
Well,
Like,
the league,
what's the buy-in for all these?
the league I care about, the one that I'm 0-8 in is $100 buy-in.
Okay.
The league with my coworkers is $50, and then my dynasty league is $25, I believe.
Okay.
So
We're
we got
$175
$175
the
in
whole.
the dynasty league.
That's
though
only
I think
3 of
I'm
4 leagues though. I thought you said you were in 4.
yeah, and the other one's free.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, I'm in 5 leagues, and 2 of them are free.
Okay.
One was with girlfriend and her friends, and I'm
And
actually
you're even bad in that
no,
one?
I'm distraught. I'm like
okay, I was gonna
I'm
say.
king. I'm the man in that league.
Yeah.
They think I'm a god. And then I play with my friends, and it's like I know nothing. And it really does feel personal at this point. Like, I can understand 0-4, 0-5, but 0-8, it's like, do I know anything?
No.
Like, it really makes me feel like I'm a worthless human being and I don't deserve anything.
wow.
Yep. Thanks.
Going full existential dread.
Thanks
off
for
of
listening
fantasy
this week.
football.
Yeah.
Good God.
Because, I mean, this is really like, I care about it so much. Fantasy in general. Every year I look forward to it. Honestly, sometimes I care about it more than I care about, like, my job, the Steelers.
Good Lord.
There have been years, like,
I've spent a good amount of times at my desk looking at Sleeper app and looking at asking GPT about trades. And
I think
stuff like
that's
that.
where things went wrong.
Yeah.
When I brought
You think Slade
when I
is-
brought the
is
machine
corrupting you?
into the when I brought a
See,
machine into the
You went from a that boy nice watcher to an analytics nerd. and that's when
Exactly.
you get wrong. That's
Exactly.
when you get corrupted.
thought I knew something, I knew nothing.
You don't know niche. Yeah, no, you can't be asking too many of the analytical minds about it because it really is all off feel.
Yeah.
My brother one time put this idea in my head that he goes, the only industry in the world where you judge someone off of what they've done in the past and not what they're going to do in the future is the NFL or sports,
Hmm.
basically. And I remember him being like, if you're going to go buy a car and there's 200,000 miles on it, you're not going to say, well, the first 200,000 miles were great. Like,
Mhm.
you know, it was awesome for those 200,000
Yeah, but-
miles. So I think moving forward, it'll be fine.
Yeah,
You gotta. Sometimes in fantasy football, you gotta go
Gotta
off
take a
that
risk,
gut feeling
for sure.
Just be like, he's been good, but could fall off. You don't know the trends.
Yeah.
and, you know.
No, that's definitely a good point. 100%. I think that like, you got to take risk in fantasy sometimes. With I get over my head a lot too. Like, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, he's gonna be the next LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah.
And then he's okay. He's definitely one of the bright spots on that 0-8 team. He's also my dynasty too. Drafted him in the 5th round.
Okay.
I
you got
felt like
Bill.
I was fucking Billy Bean.
You got
doing
Bill
that.
late. That was
Yeah.
nice.
It was nice.
That was big time. I've been wheeling and dealing. I went from 1-3 to 5-3 now. Rattled off 4 in a row. Made some big trades. I actually earlier in the year I traded away Lad McConkey for a couple of no names and a 1st and a 2nd rounder.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I've gotten some running back help. I traded for DeAndre Swift this past week. He helped me out. We got Sam Darnold on the bench now too. We're looking pretty
We're
good
deep.
in a lot of different positions, but my wide receiver room's thin. I'm about to make the exact same trade back and get Lad McConkey back.
Same
because
exact one.
Almost the exact same trade, but I'm going to throw David Montgomery in there because the guy needs a running back really bad. And I just feel like that's
So you're just
I'm kind of that's like ultimate.
you basically
Billy
just
Bean
gave 'em-
GM wheeling and dealing, where you're like, yeah, I'll take that. Then I'll make some trades off of that, and then I'll give what you gave me back.
hmm
Yeah,
Okay, I like that. Big
That's-
brain move.
yeah, huge brain move.
I like
huge
that.
brain.
I like that.
Yeah,
I
so-
have no insight this year. I don't read fantasy football. I used to read every Monday, like go on the Roto Wire, just on
again, I don't want that.
Look
I
at
don't
the
want
top
anyone
waiver.
corrupting me. I want
that
it
stuff
fully
helps
to
though.
be-
Like top waiver pickups of the week. I used to always read that.
See, that doesn't do me any good.
Or
in
like buy
Dynasty,
low, sell
but
high type guys.
the only thing I'll look at is sometimes I'll get fantasy football TikToks of people being like, and if it's a guy I already have and they're like, you should play him this week, I'll consider it, but I still don't do it a lot. And that at the end of the season too makes the payoff so much better, because you're like, I didn't let any of the outside noise corrupt me and my team. We stuck together. I stayed true to myself and my philosophies. And at the end of the day, it paid off. So that's
Does
what
feel
you got.
good.
That's what you really gotta. You gotta stick true to yourself.
It also feels good when you don't have to make the trades during the season.
Uh-huh.
When you're like, I built the squad from the beginning. I had my guys and we rode with them.
I used to always be a no trade guy, but recently I've realized that like it's just one or two big moves, and you got to make them at the right time, and that can really propel the team.
For sure.
And you know, this show can really propel your weekend to having a Stoke filled weekend. So listen to Behind Enemy Lines right here on WSRR Radio. Stick with us through the break.
Hi, this is Melissa,
And hey, it's Matt.
coming at you from Synergy Music Studio.
We are a recording and production studio located on the south side near Chicago.
Check us out online at synergymusicstudio.com. We offer recording, mixing, and mastering.
And follow us on Instagram at Synergy Music Studio. Rock hard.
If LimeWire taught us anything, your digital music is free and open to piracy, and even manipulation when it comes to digital distribution. So why settle for a bunch of ones and zeros floating around on the internet? Make your release something special with Hellbender Vinyl. Hellbender is one of America's most trusted custom vinyl record pressing plants and works with local artists to get their next release pressed exactly to their liking. So check out Pittsburgh's first and only custom vinyl pressing plant today by visiting hellbendervinyl.com to get started. And don't forget, all customers at Hellbender Vinyl get 5 free test presses at no additional charge. Hellbent on quality, hellbent on service, hellbendervinyl.com.
Welcome back to Behind Enemy Lines right here on WSRR Radio. I'm Lucas Durazio, joined by Dom Farrow, and we are brought to you by GenericClothes.com. Nobody cares about the details. Get to the point at GenericClothes.com. Don't sell out to the big brand clothing empires and their prices. Make a statement at their expense. That is GenericClothes.com. They got some heat on there, so go check them out.
Love them.
And we got some heat on this episode per usual. You can expect nothing but heat from Behind Enemy Lines, your Cleveland sports talk show from Pittsburgh, as we move into week 9 of the NFL schedule. I'm looking at some interesting games here. The Browns are on a bye. We can get a little bit of Browns talk out of the way before we dive into the next week, as they fall to the Patriots in embarrassing fashion in Foxborough. Came out good, had a strong first drive after holding the Patriots to a field goal. They went right down the field. Harold Fannin Jr. touchdown from Dylan Gabriel. I thought, all right, maybe Gabriel's going to settle in here. And then that was about it. That was pretty much all we saw from them the entire rest of the game. Gabriel throws his first pick and then another. He had 2 interceptions on the day. Both of them just god-awful throws and decisions. After the game, Kevin Stefanski was asked about a quarterback change. He said that they will consider it, but as of right now, Dylan Gabriel is still their starter. And Dom, from an outside perspective, I'm curious when you think it's time for a change. By the way, also not something to be glossed over. Myles Garrett, 5 sacks against the Patriots.
How about it?
Going up against a rookie left tackle in Will Campbell, but
Franchise record.
once again, just getting chipped, getting doubled. None of it matters. Gets to the QB 5 times. I put it on my Instagram story this week that I'm really glad that the greatest defensive player of all time is choosing to waste his prime in Cleveland so that we get to watch him every week at least. But it's sad.
It's true.
It's really sad to see that like he is so good and we are so bad as an organization. I saw a lot of
He could have gone out.
TikTok and Instagram comments. This is what I was going to say, that a lot of people were like, nah, don't feel bad for him. He chose money over going to a winning team after he requested to be traded, and then they threw the bag at him, and he was like, all right, maybe I'll stay.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think that part of that was that they kind of promised him, like, it's going to be different. We're going to help. We're going to change the quarterback situation. And what did they do to do that? They went out and got Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett and 2 bad rookies. But as I said, going back to the quarterback situation, Dylan Gabriel, 2 picks, looked really bad other than the first drive.
Yeah.
And after the game, Stefanski saying they're not moving to Shedeur yet. I think part of the question is, when is the time for that? But then the other part of the question is, what's the point of it almost? Like, at this point, they're not going to win anything serious. They're not going to win. You know, the goal of the NFL is to win a Super Bowl, win a championship. That's clearly not going to happen. If they do put, like, even if they win games, they're not getting closer to the goal that they ultimately want, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think there's any reason to not let Dylan Gabriel start up until like week 11 and just let him try to maybe hope to progress.
Well, you can't jump and put Shedeur Sanders in like next week or the week after. I just don't think that it makes any sense for where they're at. Like, why does Shedeur deserve to start over Dylan Gabriel?
Yeah.
Like, Joe Flacco did the same thing with this offense. He didn't look. I think Dylan Gabriel's looked a lot better in this offense than Joe Flacco.
I don't know
It's
about
close.
that.
It's close, but I'm saying in certain moments, Dylan Gabriel looks a lot more like a adjuster. He's more of an improviser than Joe Flacco.
I think you're giving him a lot more credit than he deserves.
So I haven't watched a ton of Browns games
And I don't
outside of
I don't hate Dylan Gabriel, but
outside of the Steelers Browns game. That's really the only time I've watched Dylan Gabriel. For the most part, I'm watching other teams or I'll catch something on Red Zone, but I'm not like really sitting down and watching Browns games start to finish. But when I watched Dylan Gabriel in person, I was really impressed that he could just step up in the pocket and make some really good throws. There is some major concerns though about his size, which I like personally. I root for the guy. Like, it's a David versus Goliath type of situation. These type of quarterbacks don't exist in the NFL. Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, those are like anomalies. Can he be one of them?
Doug Flutie.
Yeah, but that was a different NFL.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
I'm rooting for Dylan Gabriel. I'd like to see him do good. Everything I've seen from Shedeur, like he's still a child. He's not ready to be a starting NFL quarterback.
And all of the reports from Browns media too, like, this might mean nothing because do they really know what they're talking about? Maybe not. But like, is that in practice, like, he doesn't look anywhere close to being a starter. And like, someone made the point in our Cleveland group message this week, like, he's probably getting a lot of the scout team reps, like, and the number 2 reps. Like, if there was any pop whatsoever, like, or any like, oh wow, this guy actually, you know, whatever, has the physical tools, like, there would be a movement for him to start. And like, there's just no rumblings of that. Like, the Cleveland media is not going to hold back from saying that they think another guy should start. And there's not a ton of people being like, Shedeur looks better than Dylan Gabriel does in practice.
Like, if he was truly like that, he would have been next in line after they sent Joe Flacco out of town.
Yeah. No, I think the only reason to maybe start Shedeur Sanders now is because the rumors or the scheduled track for Deshaun Watson was to get cleared off of IR in late November.
Mm-hmm.
So November obviously is coming up here.
Is that really a possibility of him playing this year?
Yes.
They want that to happen?
Who's they?
The Browns.
I think so. My only thing is,
because that might be
if
the
you
end
want
of
to get
Stefanski.
If you want to get Shedeur Sanders 2 to 3, 3 or 4 starts before Deshaun Watson comes back, and let him play out the rest of the season and just hope. Because again, like, at this point, you're $250 million in the hole. you might as well let him start the last half of the season or the last 5 games of the season, whatever it is at that time, and say like, all right, he's got some pop, and from there we can decide. Like, and again, I
Still
don't.
this
Do I
guy.
think that there's anything? Do I think that there's, a high likelihood of that happening? If
But
he's looking good, no.
At the same time,
But-
he's the best quarterback you guys have had since
Exactly.
Baker.
Exactly, he's the best quarterback in the room right now.
Yeah.
Which again isn't saying much. You got 2 rookies that both look bad and whatever, but like, you might as like. That's the only reason to start Shador now is so that he can get some starts in before Deshaun Watson comes back. And then you start Deshaun the rest of the season to see if next year we can maybe, let him be the quarterback.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think starting Shador at all this season's a good idea. I think this offseason is going to be big for him and how he comes back next year. Like, if his head's in the right space, if he's not doing like the mime stuff in the locker room, if he's ready to compete next year, then maybe that's the time. I just don't see it happening this year. I'd be surprised.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, if
he's
Dylan
not on the
Gabriel-
team next year, though.
That's also a possibility. I mean, if Dylan Gabriel gets hurt, which he's been getting hit a lot, so
And again, he's not a big guy.
yeah. So there is a chance in that way, but I'd say if Dylan Gabriel stays healthy, I mean, if they keep losing, like, why put Shador in?
Yeah, that's been my thing. And like that's the thing for me. Like, what do you want Kevin Stefanski to say? Just to be like, yeah, well, we suck. And like,
Yeah.
what would I just don't think that there's too much positive that can come from starting Shador now. Whereas I think more, again, I just think it's better for Dylan Gabriel to have some time and at least, hopefully try to develop. And again, same thing with Deshaun, as I said with Deshaun. Like, do I think that that's going to happen? Am I hanging on the edge of my seat, saying that is going to happen? No, but you might as well
It'll be
give him a
entertaining.
chance to.
Yeah. I will say, like, we can get off the quarterbacks. I'll say another rookie, though, who started off really well. He's been a little disappointed the last few weeks, Quinshon Judkins. He was
2 weeks ago, he had 3 touchdowns. He looked great against the
Yeah.
Dolphins.
okay.
But
but
against the Steelers and the Patriots, he's
Yeah, like,
done
it just
little.
doesn't see. It seems like sometimes the game plan slips away from them, and they forget how to use this guy. Like,
Yeah.
he's got to be the focal point.
well. I think that it's tough when you're playing from behind because
For sure.
it's you want to throw the ball. He had 9 carries in this game though, and only 19 yards.
Mm.
And it's against a good defense and a good coached team like the Patriots and the Steelers, like they're gonna be like, we need to take away this guy. He's clearly the guy with the most pop on their offense. He's clearly the best threat that they have to mount a scoring drive is to run the ball with Quinshon Judkins. We saw it against the Dolphins. He had 3 touchdowns and he looked awesome. So once you take that away and then you make the rookie quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, throw the ball 35 times in this game. Again, he also has not had a start where he's thrown less than 30 passes, which is crazy.
That is.
And
But it's
you know,
been
I
a-
should say that Dolphins, I don't think he did. But
Okay.
in 3 of his 4 starts, he threw over 30 passes.
Well, that's like every game for the Browns because Joe Flacco is doing that as well.
Yeah.
Like, it just hasn't been
I
working
don't
out.
understand why we're throwing the ball so much when the idea is that we have a good stable of running backs.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
They have it. I got to stop saying we. I
And
hate, I
what-
hate doing that.
What did you think about Travion Henderson, another rookie in this game? A guy who really wasn't given a lot of opportunities so far this season. But in this one, 10 carries, 75 yards. He did fumble, but this was a guy I drafted in fantasy this year, thinking he was going to be a dog. He's an Ohio State guy as well. So, like, what have you seen from him in the NFL? Do you think he's got a future, or do you think Judkins is, like, the only OSU guy from that class who's going to
I think it's interesting because
stand the
like
test of time?
a lot of people this year thought that the Browns took the wrong Ohio State guy, and I'll say it. You can go back and listen to this show. Like, I was one of those guys. And like I was listening to the Bill Simmons podcast, and he was like, the Browns and Patriots did this a couple of years ago where it was flopped, and there was 2 Georgia running backs, and the Patriots took Sony Michel,
Mhm.
and the Browns took Nick Chubb, and it was like, oh, the Patriots took the wrong Georgia running back.
Uh-huh.
And now it looked like the Browns took the wrong Ohio State running back.
Hmm.
But I don't know if I still think he's obviously like a great athlete and he's a very explosive player. he showed a little bit of something in this game. 75 yards. I think that's his best of the season thus
Yeah.
far. Interesting that he had a fumble because that was kind of the big reason why a lot of people were calling for him over Ramondre Stevenson, because Stevenson had been having the fumble issues. Henderson had never fumbled at Ohio State, or at least not in the last year or two. And I think that they're still maybe underutilizing him. I don't know if they think he's not ready yet. I've seen some things on film of, the TikTok film experts saying that he doesn't read holes all that great, and he's not.
I thought you were saying you didn't
patient
read the
enough
book
sometimes.
holes.
What's
You
that?
never read the book holes.
The book holes?
Yeah, that's what I
He
thought.
didn't read holes, so he didn't know about zero.
No one ever told him to read that in high school, so
I
that's
don't
why.
think I've ever read that. I didn't even
I
know
haven't
there was
either.
a book. I thought it was just the movie.
I've never read it, but apparently that's a lot of people read that back in the day.
Yeah?
A lot of kids.
Which one came out first? The book,
Had to
probably?
have been. What type of books were you reading back in the day? Mike Lupica?
Oh, yeah.
For
I
sure.
was big on the Mike Lupica.
Big
Then I
on
got
the
introduced
Lupica.
to the
Magic Treehouse?
no, I wasn't a huge Magic Treehouse guy. I got introduced to the sports books that were written by the athlete. Like, so Drew Brees wrote a book. There was a Tony Dungy book.
Okay.
I read both of those. They were awesome.
I
read
remember
this one book called 1 Yard Short about the Titans season when they went to the Super Bowl
And they
against
were
the
1 yard
Rams, and they
short.
were 1 yard
Yeah.
short. It's the picture of what is it? Andre Dyson or whoever it is reaching out at the goal line, doesn't get there.
I remember strangely reading a biography of the Rondé and Tiki Barber.
Yeah, I read that one. I read that
I
one.
don't
The
know
Brothers
why.
Barber or
Yeah.
whatever it's
I
called.
don't know why I read that one.
I read that one. I specifically remember that one as well.
There's some good. They don't make good kids sports books like they
No,
used to. That's for
no.
sure. I don't
No.
think kids are really reading anymore either.
Well, yeah, why
They got
would you?
TikToks.
You got ChatGPT to just
Tell you a story.
shorten you the book.
Yeah.
anyway, give you the summary. I remember one time I had to write a book report, and I did not read the book, or maybe I think I even did read the book, but I didn't want to write the summary out, so I spent like 15-20 minutes like Google searching summary of Percy Jackson or whatever the hell the book was. And my mom came home and she looked at the search history on Safari on her computer, and she was like, "Why are you looking up like the summary? Like, for the time that it took you to do this, you probably could have just wrote the summary. Like, you needed an 8-sentence paragraph. Like, you would have been completely fine doing this quickly. But I was just being lazy. So that's how it goes. That's how it was. But now it's way easier to be lazy. So I feel like
For
we
sure.
got shafted a little bit of that. We had Cliff Notes instead of ChatGPT.
For sure.
But don't listen to the Cliff Notes version of this. You want to listen to the entire episode of Behind Enemy Lines right here on WSRR Radio, including our last segment. That'll be right here after our last break.
What's the difference between the shirt you're currently wearing and the one that I am? Well, both do their job of concealing us from the outside world and social boundaries. But one little black swoosh makes yours cost nearly double. That red rectangle may not change how warm you are, but it certainly changes the price tag. The truth is, nobody cares about the details. Get to the point with GenericClothes.com. Have a laugh at the big brand clothing company's expense with shirts that simply say sports team, political statement, music band, and more. A shirt for any occasion and the perfect gift. GenericClothes.com.
Welcome back to Behind Enemy Lines. We got a special segment. We teased it last week. The NFL quarterbacks who you'd love to get a beer with tier list.
That's
We got a
right.
list of like every NFL quarterback who's played or even been on a roster this season.
I think we got like the 2, maybe even 3 deep here. For
Yeah.
every NFL.
It's
team.
deep. There were a few guys even we were like, who is that?
Yeah, because it just has the pictures up here. We have a tier list up of NFL quarterbacks, and I think it's supposed to be made for
The talent.
talent, but we're using it for
Chill
who's
levels.
the best hang.
Exactly. And before we get to that, we'd like to tell you about YourBuddiesGarage.com. Your Buddies Garage sells a selection of salvaged, used, and scrapped auto parts and accessories, perfect for a quick fix or a first stop before the shop. Before you pay a pro, see what your buddies got at YourBuddiesGarage.com. NFL tier list, dudes you'd most like to get a beer with, also known as the chillest. We've got a few different tiers here, starting at the top. Elite, Next, we got top tier.
Yeah, should we change those to make them like SA, B,
Oh, I
C?
can change it. You're
Yeah,
right.
Have that changed.
So they had it like great starter, but that's not what
Yeah.
we're about.
I don't need that. Great, but needs to improve.
We need
I don't
the
care.
closers out here. We
That's
need who's
right.
gonna come at the end of the day.
Who's gonna come in at the end of the night and throw down a couple of Jaeger bombs?
So it's just gonna be A or S, A, B, C, D,
and F.
F, and hell no,
Yeah, that's true.
and jail.
Okay.
For
Jail.
Deshaun
I don't think we
Watson.
need the last one.
Deshaun Watson. We can put-
yeah, throw
we have-
Deshaun into jail.
Deshaun
right
Watson's
now.
in jail.
Yeah, we can throw that in real quick. Throw that quick. First one in there is Lamar Jackson. He's S tier for me. I said it last week. I think that he's probably one of the best hangs in the NFL. He seems like a really chill guy. Seems down to earth. Florida Jit. That'll be a good time.
Yeah, it's
That'll be
enough
a good
said.
time.
He seems like a funny guy. Why is the buddy pregnant? I think that'd be my first question.
What now?
Why is the buddy pregnant?
What was that?
You know, Lamar Jackson, like this is like 5 years ago. Apple came out with like emojis, and one of them were
Oh,
like
yeah.
pregnant men, and he just quote tweeted, "Why is the buddy pregnant?"
I thought you were gonna ask him about Jimmy or what was it, Bobby?
oh, that's a good one too. I forget. I think it was Jimmy.
Jimmy.
That's another great tweet. He's
Oh,
got
yeah.
bangers, so we talk about that.
I think next one up is also S tier, Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen's an S tier
Yeah,
for sure.
easy.
Again, even though he is one of the best in the league, he seems really down to earth and chill. Maybe he'll bring Haley with him to hang out with her.
Not bad.
That'd be a good hang.
So as far as like other people to bring with, what about Justin Herbert? New
Herbo?
piece, Madison Beer. They've been seen together at the Lakers game, the World Series. She'd be a fun hang, but would he be a fun hang?
I said this last week as well. I think Herbert would be great. I think he's at least an A.
I agree. Fishing
He's
in a beer.
Fishing in a beer. He seems to have like movie quotes down. I think that he consumes media a good amount. So like he seems like a good time. I
Yeah.
saw this TikTok from their kicker. I forget his first name, but Dicker the kicker,
Uh-huh.
the Chargers kicker, of like them all out for Halloween dressed up. And, like,
Yeah.
they look like they're just having a good time.
They did.
Kicking back, chilling. So I would definitely put him A, if not S.
Lad
but-
McConkey dressed as the milkman.
That's right.
Pretty
the
good one.
Milkman, that was spectacular. Next one I'm seeing is Joe Burrow. Now this one is, again, this is towing the line because I think he seems really cool. He seems a little too cool almost.
Mhm. He might try to flex on you.
Is he performatively cool or is he actually a chill guy? I feel like
I think
there's,
he's
like-
actually cool.
I don't know. I feel like I watched that quarterback documentary on Netflix and like he seems like cool and fun to talk to when you're at practice. Like he was talking about like some cool niche shit, but like I don't know. Like there's not really a lot of scenes of him like hanging out with everyone. It seems like
Yeah.
he just like is a little bit of a loner. Like went home, is learning to play the piano,
Uh-huh.
watching the games. Like,
He seems pretty intense.
like to me, and again, I know it's for like TV purposes, but like what was it? I think their week 18 game last year, they like played it on Thursday night. So then Sunday, do they have a Thursday night game on week 18? Or maybe they played Saturday, that was what it was.
Uh-huh.
And then like so for Sunday, like the only thing he could do, whether or not they're gonna get in the playoffs, was like watch the games.
Yeah.
And it was like, you obviously got to watch, see if you're going to be in or not. And he was just like sitting on his couch at home alone, like watching by himself and eating.
Yeah.
And I was like, isn't that something that you'd think you'd want to like go,
Yeah, but like if they lost, it would have been devastating.
Yeah, but that's
why would he
even-
want to be around
That's
somebody
even
after that?
more the reason though, because then it's like if we lose, like this could be the last time we really see each other. And besides like exit,
Yeah.
meetings. Like at the end of a sports season, like obviously I didn't play in the NFL, but like in college, it's weird. Like when the season ends, because there's not really a huge like exit meeting where like everyone comes together. Like we did that in
Yeah.
high school. We didn't do that as much in college, and like I don't think it would be as you don't see those guys as much. And like when the season ends, like this is the last time that this group of 53 guys is going to be together. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Burrow
every year
couldn't be
guys
there.
leave and come in. Like
Yeah, but
I
I,
don't
do
know,
think
that just seemed a
NFL
little
is more
weird
of a
to me.
full-time job.
that's true.
They're gonna see each other next month.
That's true, but I don't know.
I'll
man.
put him at B though.
I'd go B.
I think he's a lone wolf, but I
He's
still
cool.
think he'd be cool. Joe Flacco. I think that was a guy last week you teased as like an S tier type guy, but he might be
seems
another
funny.
lone wolf.
You know what? Another reason I like him, and I think that he should go high on this because when they asked Lamar, they said, "What do you remember about Joe Flacco when he was with the Ravens?" He said, "Man, he's really funny. He's a really funny
Yeah,
dude."
they did say
And
that.
like I feel like being in an NFL locker room and film room for however many years it's been now, 17, like you pick up some good jokes and like you can kind of be a really good hang. I'd put him at
He's
A.
Unk. All right.
I'd put him at A. Even though he knows he's Unk, I'd put him at A.
I think he's a little too big.
Too tall?
Yeah, a little too big.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know. He's like big Unk. Like with Josh Allen, he's big, but he's like big homie. I don't want big Unk to be like schooling me. I feel like he'd be trying to like tell me, give me advice.
He'd strong arm you?
I think
No,
so.
I don't think so. I think he'd be chill. I think if you asked for it, he'd give it to you.
Also, he's a Raven, but I'd remind him of what Troy Polamalu did to him.
All right,
Kenny
who we looking
Pickett.
at
Kenny
next?
Pickett's a guy who's on here. He's not a starter.
You
We'll-
love Kenny Pickett.
We'll put him at B.
Yeah,
He's
you
Joe
love him.
Burrow type.
CJ Stroud, I think might be like a C.
Yeah, he tried to son Caleb Williams. You ever see that video?
No, what'd he do?
Like after they played each other in Caleb Williams' rookie year, the Texans beat him. He's like, bro, you got everything inside of you that you need. He's like, just stay up. Just don't get hit as much. Like he had CJ Stroud had one good season. He's trying to like act like he's like the man. Like
Oh
he's gonna
my
be spit
God.
wisdom.
I like.
And then CJ hasn't done anything since then.
He really hasn't. Yeah, I'd go C there, maybe even D. I don't know. He
Ooh.
doesn't seem like he's like a California kid that.
Yeah, but like he was hanging out with Sketch in the offseason.
Yeah,
Like he's like Sketch is like a white boy.
I know Sketch.
He's just a
He's a white
he's
boy.
like you I white boy. They were like throwing football. So I think that's what
Yeah.
like if I was hanging out with him, he might do that.
I feel like he's trying to sun him in saying that though. He's like a little bit too big for his britches.
You're right.
I'd say C.
All right, that's fair.
I'm not moving him up any more than that.
Bo Nix. That's a guy that I think is C written all over it. Like
Yeah?
just the face, the teeth, everything about him. It's like, dude, why are you smiling like that?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Just the picture
He's
alone.
happy.
It's like, come on, man.
I might say B, but I could see him getting a little annoying. He seems to do. He's like the coach's son. Might be a little too goody two shoes.
You just be smiling too much.
yeah.
with those
You think
big-
he's- you
big
think he's
old
in Too
teeth.
good of a mood.
You got too big of teeth.
Another guy I'm seeing here that I think is a little too big for his britches. Like was praised as this guy coming into the league that's gonna like save his franchise. Trevor Lawrence. I don't think
Oh,
that he
yeah?
would be. He doesn't seem like a good hang to me. Maybe it's because he's from Clemson. Like I'd put him at D.
Wow. D.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of agreeing with you here because the hair. is
The
too
hair's
much.
annoying. Like honestly, I legitimately think it would be good for his career if he cut his hair.
1,000%. It would revitalize something. It would change something.
Yeah, I think it would be like I'm a new guy now. I'm taking this entire, my entire career differently. Who
But
was
I
that?
feel like Trevor Lawrence is the type of guy. He's like type of guy you went to school with who's like always like the prodigy. It's like his parents are just sending him like get him all the trainers, get him
Uh-huh.
this, send him to
Yep.
this, and then it turns out like oh, he's just some dude. But he
Yeah.
still has that vision in his head that
Yes.
he's like better
I
than
feel like
everybody else.
he has a little bit of a superiority complex.
sure.
I'll keep him at D.
For sure. You
I'll
might have
keep
heard
him at
Lucas
D.
saying, "Who is that guy?" He was talking about Trey Lance.
Oh,
Trey
is that who
Lance.
that is?
Trey Lance is another guy who I don't think would be the best. Another guy who I feel like similar.
FCS guy though, North Dakota State. I
Maybe a
like
little
that.
humbler. Maybe a little bit more
I
humble.
like that. I don't even want to put him up there. He's not
He's not,
starting enough quarterback.
for sure.
Geno. How about Geno? I think Geno seems like he would be okay, Geno Smith, but at the end of it, like when you think about his career, like he got punched in the mouth and broke his jaw when he was with the Jets. And the guy who did it was clearly like kind of a whack job and whatever, but like you got to do something to get punched in the jaw.
For sure. I've never seen like Geno like laughing.
Yeah, like he doesn't seem like a great time. Like,
No.
I feel like his one big like personality thing ever was like, yeah, they wrote me off, but I didn't wrote back.
Yeah. And I
Which,
feel
like,
like he has
that was
that,
hard,
that
but-
chip on his shoulder where he
Yeah.
doesn't really trust. I don't know. I'm kind of talking out my ass. But C, I think both Bo and CJ and
Yeah.
he's D.
Think he's
Is
okay.
Trev?
Yeah, I'll put him at C. I don't know enough about him to put him at D.
What about Daniel Jones? He
I'm
seems
putting
like
him
a B.
I'm
type
putting
guy.
him at. Yeah, I'd put him at B. I think he'll be fun. Like he'll be all right, but like he's not doing the most. Like he's kind of just gonna be quiet. Like he'll laugh at your jokes and like maybe make a little one back, but like he's not really like sparking the conversation a ton. You know,
I agree.
I think he's more reactionary than actionary.
For sure. He's not like Flacco where he's going to be telling you things.
No, he's not going to be cracking jokes and telling
He's
stories.
not gonna
What
be
about
sunning
Baker?
you.
I'm seeing Baker down there.
Baker might be S tier,
Baker,
but he's a little intense.
I think Baker might be able to come off the wrong way where he could be. I would put him at A. I wouldn't put him at S. Like, if he's on, he's going to be on. Same way with his play. Like, if he's on and the jokes are rolling,
If he's
it's like,
feeling
oh,
you.
man, he's
Yeah.
cooking right now.
For sure.
But if he's bad and he's, like, still pressing to be, like, the life of the party, then it kind of gets into, like, a little bit desperate territory and,
I-
like,
I
he's doing too much.
I feel like
that
if,
would be my worry with him.
if he didn't like you, he'd make your life hell.
Yes.
Like, he's the type of guy, he's going to win no matter what. And he's going to, like, it doesn't matter.
yeah.
He's going to fight and claw.
He can rub some people the wrong way.
For sure.
That's why he doesn't get into S.
But
He's
I
not
think-
as universally likable as Lamar and Josh Allen.
But I think if it's us three hanging, I think he vibes with
yeah,
us
he would.
for sure.
He'd kick it with
He's
us.
not going to try to
He'd be a friend
beef.
of the program. He'd be a friend of the
Who's
program.
that
for
guy?
sure. I have no clue.
I've never-
Oh, that's Tyson Bagent.
Oh, he ain't
Bears
making the
backup.
list. What about
Patrick?
Fields?
Justin Fields.
I like Fields.
I like him.
I like Fields.
I think he's top recruit out of his class with Trevor Lawrence. They were like the top two. I'd put him at B.
I think B is pretty fair for him.
Top two, but
He's
he also
real.
like wasn't as he had to transfer to make his spot. Went to Ohio State from Georgia.
Justin Fields could have been one of those guys where he made his personality a bigger trait than it is.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like he could have been a big star, not on the field. I think like mixing it, the combination of
yeah,
the play, even though it's not like winning formula, it's exciting, it's flashy,
Uh-huh.
but the personality is not really that. So I think he's pretty humble.
yeah. I like that. I like that as a B.
Yeah.
That's not too bad. What about Mahomes? I'm seeing Mahomes on there.
Mahomes,
His voice would get on my nerves. His wife would come. She's
Uh-huh.
just the worst.
she's not the best,
She
that's
is
for sure.
terrible. She'd be insatiable. If he's by himself, I could see him like C or B.
Yeah,
I'd say B, but
I-
if Brittany comes, I'm throwing him in the F tier. Maybe
yeah,
even
I don't
hell
know.
no.
It's tough. B or C. It is. He's definitely not an A. He's not Baker, Flacco, Herbert level, but I think he'd be a better hang than Pickett and Daniel Jones. So I'll put him at B with them.
Okay, we got time for like one more. What do you
Yeah.
think? Russ
Russ is not a good one. Russ is
going
F.
in F.
Yeah. Mason Rudolph's in F as well. I'd
I
say.
parked Mason Rudolph's car once, and I saw him at a gas station in Pittsburgh. And yeah, I think he met with like his
Dak.
realtor at this restaurant that I was at, and I think all the waiters came out or the waitress came out. She was like, "Yeah, that was Mason Rudolph, right? And, like you just brought his car up." I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Yeah, he split the bill with the lady that he was with." I was like, "He split the bill, really? Like you're an NFL quarterback?" They were looking at like listings or something at the table, and they split the bill. I was like, "Oh, what a jerk!"
Huh. Couldn't fork it up, huh?
Yeah, like come on, dude. It's not even that pricey of a restaurant, to be honest.
Jared Goff, I'd say, is an S or an A.
Like, yeah, I'd throw him an A.
Matt Stafford
I
might
think
be
he would
an
be
A.
the same thing as Daniel Jones, where he's not quite contributing quite as much. He's kind of more reactionary.
For sure. Jameis Winston's an S.
Jameis would be
What are we
spectacular.
thinking?
How could he
Jameis is
not
an
be
S.
an S? Maybe we'll work on this continuing moving forward. 'cause
For sure.
This is a pretty good topic.
I
of
put Rodgers
conversation.
in the D as well.
Yeah, I can't do Rodgers.
I knew
We
you
talked
wouldn't love
about
that one.
a little bit late last week, but hey, maybe we'll jump back on this next week, right here on Behind Enemy Lines, same time, same channel, WSRR Radio. Thank you guys for joining us as always.
Place your own parlay.
The preceding program was a sponsored production. The views, claims, and ideas expressed may not represent those of WSRR Radio.